Let's have a look at the market snapshot for today. The Indian markets, I think they began the day pretty well, but somehow, the advances never sustained. So there was a lot of pressure, upward pressure in the market. That is what I would say. The advances were just below 200 against declines of just over 300. New highs, we had around 30 new highs against 487 new lows today. Breadth also, I think, uh, was little poor than last two trading sessions. So above 20 EMA we had just over 300 stocks, and above 50 EMA almost 300 stocks, and above 200 EMA around 260 to 70 stocks. Uh, so yeah, overall I think there was a lot of pressure in the markets. Neither the participation remained as is, and so did the breadth. Breadth also reduced compared to last few trading sessions. Let's have a look at the chart. So yeah, like this is what I mean. The day began pretty well. It made a high and then it couldn't sustain and just kept coming down. But nothing to worry about it. Honestly, it looks a much better chart than how it was maybe a week before. Uh, so basically these levels are crucial. This is what even I would want, that it just sustains around about these levels instead of just breaking away and running ahead, because again the problem is, again the market might come down to fill those gaps, and again a lot of volatility. It's better it hovers around these levels for some time and then moves ahead. So pretty nothing to worry about it. I think it is still very stable for me. uh, Nifty 500, again very similar chart to what Nifty it was. Started the day pretty well, made a new, not a new high, but basically almost as the previous session's high, but couldn't sustain, came back. But no signs of worry looking at the chart, because it is still respecting the EMAs, respecting its levels. I think pretty stable, although the numbers were not so good, but pretty stable chart. Let's look at the trend. Nifty 50 seems to have improved significantly against what was happening, at least from last 7 to 10 trading sessions. It is bullish trading above 50 MA. The participation was mixed, but the breadth is strong. So that is, I mean, for me, that is the biggest positive of the market. Till the time breadth is strong, there is no signs of worry. So is the case with Nifty 500, bullish trading above 50 MA. Participation weak, but the breadth is strong. That is what matters. And in both the markets, majorly we are getting sustainable breadths, which is the need of the hour. So no signs of worry, I would say. US market performed really well yesterday, I would say. Not, I think this was second session wherein the advances have been more than the declines. The advances were just over 300 against the declines of just less than 200. Pretty good numbers there. New highs almost 19 new highs against 480 new lows. So good leadership there too. Breadth has improved. I think this was the highlight of the day. I mean, we were regularly seeing, what was happening. We had least number of stocks at above 200, above 20 MA, then followed by 50 MA, followed by 200 EMA. But I think yesterday a lot of bounce back has happened, and a lot of stocks have again gone back to 20 EMA, which is again a positive for the US markets. Let's look at the charts. Mm, that's what, like, see, the thing is, they went but they came back again, so that's little cautious, I would say. This is for Nasdaq 100. Let's look at it. S&P 500, similar looking chart. It made a new high, then came back, didn't sustain. That is what it means. Russell 2000, again it made an inside bar. Basically not much movement in Russell 2000. So overall, if we look, what is happening is Nasdaq is bullish trading above 50 MA. Participation is mixed, breadth is mixed. For me, see, Nasdaq is one of the primary indicators of the US market. Till the time breadth in the Nasdaq doesn't improve, for me it will be difficult to initiate further positions. That's the reason I'm still holding back. A lot of people might feel like this is maybe an opportunity cost missing, but then honestly, till the time these things stabilize, there's no point just making random bets. That's the reason, like we saw in the charts also, they made respective highs but just came back. That means the breadth is not supportive. Whereas S&P 500 and Russell 2000, in both these cases, the breadth has become strong. The participation was strong, but still, I mean, maybe I'll watch for maybe couple of more sessions. If, like, if I see, Nasdaq is improving, that would become a very good indicator to me. In case that is not improving, but the breadth in S&P 500, Russell 2000 remains sustainable at a strong, maybe that could also, help me to take positions in these two indices. But then it has to sustain. Just because of one strong session will be difficult to take a call on these. Macro, this is other factor which is not supportive of the US equities. I think US yields for the first time in last 20 plus sessions, they closed below 50 MA. So that was a positive for the US equities, and maybe that is the reason Russell and S&P 500, they showed strong closings, and the breadth improved. But the other challenge is dollar is almost touching 100, and like that's not a good news for equities. And that is the reason, maybe, even though S&P 500 and Nasdaq made highs, but they couldn't sustain, is because of the rising dollar is not good for equities. The second layer of indicators, BTC and gold, same problem. They both are bearish, indicating that investors are not looking, to make any risky bets in the market. They would prefer being into conservative asset classes, and maybe that is the reason overall the market looks little volatile for the US equities. The scoreboard, India looks strong to me. US, I would still say weak, because see, the breadth needs to at least 3-4 sessions of strong breadth is what helps to regain the confidence. Just basis one session will not do much good for us. Macro remains neutral. The takeaway for the market will be India looks stable to me. Breadth is strong, participation mixed in last two sessions. I would definitely want that, participation comes back, because if at all participation keeps deteriorating, eventually it will start affecting the breadth. But let's see. I hope still the chart looks good. So let's see if at all, the breadth and participation both help, and the market keeps going. US markets, the breadth is improving in S&P 500 and Russell 2000, but I would want it to sustain for at least next 3 to 4 trading sessions, and it's a wait and watch for US 100. Dollar rise, pressurizing equities cold close below 50 MA, that's a positive. So basically those are conflicting behaviors. One is rising, one is going down. So basically it will eventually bring in volatility. So it's better, to save your cash and maybe wait for a opportunity when it will be most optimum. Bitcoin and gold keep pressurizing equities. Maybe shorting them would not be a bad idea. VIX around 18, rising, indicating to be cautious. So overall, I mean, I think still I'll be a little more confident on the Indian markets. I would look for opportunities in Bitcoin and gold to short them, but US market, I would still wait for 2-3 more trading sessions to see if at all, the breadth continues to remain as is for S&P 500 and 2000. Whereas I would definitely want an improvement in the US 100. That was all from my side. Hope you all found this useful. Thank you so much, and see you next time.